good, homies? Welcome to episode 30 of Homie Studios. It's your boy STV, GREAT, joined by the homie Ryan Shades and P. G. How y'all boys doing, man?
Yo. We on that Steph Curry, boy.
You gonna find it.
Steph Curry. We're making sound effects now.
I was just about to say the weak intro to episode 30. Y'all need to tighten up. What that energy is. Back in the fourth. We about to go in. What to do this fresh off the mock draft. How y'all boys doing?
The dopest episode ever, and then the Rams trade and then just destroys our mock draft.
Boom.
Blew it up.
Mock draft, mock draft.
Me too.
Fuck your mock draft.
Yo, Bucky Brooks got a dope behind mock draft, though. I think his junk is like on point. And a lot of his stuff, like a lot of us had like different picks that he had in there. Like, so I saw like your pick, Peach, you had Jets getting Travis Etienne. So does Bucky.
Three of us did.
Well, all three of y'all did. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on one. I was like, no.
We getting them. Feeding.
But yeah.
That would be so nasty if y'all got ETN, dog.
No, it won't, bro.
ETN, and then, spell him a little bit with a little P rhyme,
Bro, why you ain't hating on the Jets right now, dog? Let them live too, bro.
We don't get many times to celebrate during the year.
We trying to meet up in the AFC Championship game.
Actually, my hate is dissipated.
It's all good. It's all good. I ain't celebrating ETN. I ain't. I'm celebrating when we get a wide receiver. When we get a wide receiver.
Time out, because if you ain't celebrating ETN, then fuck y'all. Y'all ain't got to get no damn ETN. Let that shit slide. We're going to pick that boy up. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't going to take him, we'll take him.
Y'all ain't going to be celebrating him either.
Yo, time out, though.
He's tired of being in the shadow.
That if it happens, I don't know what the freak to say, but he had Kadarius Toney falling to the Chiefs. Bruh. If that happens,
Tony and Tyreek
and Miko, bye, Sammy.
I think Tony gonna go higher than he's supposed to go because it's gonna be a run on receivers.
Man. Look, man.
I'm just saying, who been balling in the league lately? Them young receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Look, if we gonna do this, let's go ahead and do this shit right, man. We already here, you know what I'm saying? So you already know what time it is, because it's time.
Hey, that boy fresh in
for barbershop.
It looked like I hit it, but I ain't hit it.
Hey, B. Y'all know the fucking vibes, man, huh?
Vibes, you know.
I was like, I'm gonna try to go extra. I'm gonna go hard today, but I still ain't go as hard as I wanted to. I just think I didn't take the breath necessary to get to where I needed to be with that one this time. But like I said, we here. We already in this thing. We already at the shop already.
Baby.
We already here, dog.
And we here with Shades. The news that crashed the last time we were here.
Shades, what's going on?
Let's go.
What's going on? What's going on with your secondary team, brother?
Bro, the Lions, man. Hey, they wanted to part ways. I did not see the Rams coming. Came out of nowhere, So of course we want to get everybody's opinion on the trade. So everybody that don't know, all our homies across the world, Matt Stafford, quarterback for the Lions. There's mixed feelings with him. Some people feel like he's underperformed. Some people feel that the team didn't surround him with enough talent and kept changing offensive coordinators. He's probably had 5 or 6 offensive coordinators. He told the Lions that he would want to stay if they kept Darren Bevel. but Bevel went to the Jaguars. So the Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams. They got Jared Goff. They had to trade 2 future first-round draft picks, so they don't have no first-round draft picks till 2024, I think. They gave away a 4th rounder and Jared Goff. In my opinion, I think this is a slam dunk for the Rams. However, I do think they overpaid slightly. But the reason why I don't think they overpaid is because Matthew Stafford is on contract for 2 more years at $44 million. So you got him at $21.5 million a year for the next 2 years when you just gave Jared Goff like over 100-something million. So it works off in your cap space. You got like I think they just cleared like 22 million in cap space money with the Jared Goff contract. So if it wasn't for that contract, then I would say I'll give it like a B-, but I'm gonna give this a B+ as far as a grade.
Okay.
Ryan looked like he wanted to jump in. What you think about this
what you
move
got?
right here?
I mean, I don't think it was a bad move for the Rams. I think it was okay. I kind of feel like the reason why they overpaid was because of the actual contract that Jared Goff has. They're not going to take all that money knowing that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to need some compensations in case this nigga don't work out. You know what I'm saying? So, and it just kind of sheds light more on the situation that, like a lot of people thought it was odd that Jalen Ramsey was, you know what I'm saying, lobbying for Deshaun Watson. And it was like, wait a minute, why is he lobbying for a quarterback when they clearly have a quarterback? So I guess he's seen the writing on the wall for him. In my opinion, Goff has underperformed. He has the weapons to be elite. So I mean, do I feel like if you give Matthew Stafford those weapons, he's going to do better? Absolutely. But man, y'all mortgaging the future on Matthew Stafford. And I understand like he's definitely an elite quarterback or top upper echelon quarterback, but he's on the back end of 30. I mean,
32.
That's the back end of 30.
Well,
that's when we talk about back end of 30. That just means you're on the other side of 30, as opposed to before that. But I know what you because I'm like, I could have swore he's 32 also. No.
Now if that don't work, you looking at either trying to get a free agent quarterback or not having a draft pick till 2024, a first rounder. You're kind of handicapping yourself unless you're gonna give up a piece in order to get a quarterback in return. So, I mean, I understand it. It's kind of like it's a catch-22. I understand the reasoning behind doing it, but I don't like giving up as many picks as they did.
See, I don't necessarily want to talk about the I don't want to talk about either team, to be 100% honest. I don't want to talk about the Lions. I don't want to talk about the Rams. I want to talk about the biggest loser coming out of this. And the biggest loser that came out of this is New York Jets.
Why did he have to go here?
New York Jets is the biggest loser because do you see how much they just gave up to get Stafford? Fucking Stafford. Do you know how much it's going to take to get Watson?
ST.
Let me break it down for you though.
Hold on. So I just did some research earlier. I was looking at Pod and the Rambassador, Eric Dickerson, he said that the Rams did an inquiry with Houston, and Houston wanted 2 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks, and their 2 best defensive players.
Do you see how much you gotta give? Good God. The Houston trying to rape motherfuckers to get
That's
Watson.
impossible anyway.
You're not getting
because Jalen and Donald is worth more than Watson.
Right. Could you imagine that trade would have went down?
Bro, if Jalen already was worth 2 firsts, Donald's worth like 2.5 firsts.
3.
At
Three.
least. Right.
3 of them.
like
And you got to be a trash ass
nobody
team.
at his positions in his league.
And then you want 2
Nobody
more
at
first
his
and 2
position.
seconds?
Hold up. I gotta get
Is
I
it
gotta
crack?
get my take on
Hold
this
on,
trade real quick.
It gotta be crack. Gotta be
So
crack.
it was double crack, Houston crack. I'm letting you know. But let me tell y'all. First off, at first I looked at this like that's overpayment for staff. But then I was slapped in the face with the realization it wasn't. And this is why. Not only did 1, not only did 2, not only no, I think it was 3. At least 3 being the Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears, and the Carolina Panthers all inquired or made offers for Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
That says to me, not only is there belief in Stafford possibly being a Tannehill, you know what I'm saying, coming over here and resurging, but it's also the desperation for something decent at quarterback around the league. And then I got to look at teams like ours where it's like, shit, before niggas had a chance at Trevor or Fields or Watson possibly in the fold or whatever, niggas would have took him at Stafford real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, especially if you a team with not that kind of ammunition to get some like a top pick right now, you know, that's some good ammo. Like Watson's expensive, but a second pick in the draft is worth a lot more than a lot of other picks in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think if we was to get Watson, what we would have to give up is both our first this year, a first next year, and then like a second and a third next year. And Sam. We ain't giving up Williams
at all. You can cancel Christmas on giving up Quentin.
I mean, another reason why Stafford's his stock is so high, a lot higher than people are giving him, is what they're saying what Sean McVay is going to be able to do with him. And he's going to be able to open up his playbook. So they're basically saying that Sean McVay's playbook hasn't been able to develop, and he's not been able to do everything that he wanted to do because he's had to tailor it back for Jared Goff. Now he has a competent quarterback that can come in, learn the system, and it'll be more like a Tom Brady, Bruce Arians marriage, where over the season they will have their struggles, but you will see towards the end of the year things will start coming together. That's the mentality that I think that they're coming with, and with his toughness and everything, they're talking about. He has injuries and all that, but Stafford has proved even when he had the back vertebrae cracked or whatever, he was still trying to come out there and play. So unless it's an injury that's going to keep him off the field, Achilles, ACL.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win trade in a way too, because Goff could help the Lions. Because if you think about it, Goff playing a tough-ass division over there. The defense that he's facing in his new division is not as intense as the defense he faces in his old division. That's playing. Well, the Seahawks was bad, but normally the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? The Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. Like, that's tough division defense right there.
And you got to practice against your defense. And you got to practice against your own damn defense. That's tough.
Yo, the Lions are going to be back at the bottom of the division. I don't see Goff helping them. It's a step down to me.
Oh, no. It's a step down, but
who
but
all
the thing
in the
is,
Lions division?
Bears, Vikings.
They're going to be better than the Bears.
Not if the Bears.
The Vikings are iffy.
The Bears are a quarterback away from being legit.
they got defense. They got defense.
They got
Hey, you got to remember. Yeah, Detroit just needed a quarterback that could take some hits. Goff could take a couple hits.
Look at this man. He over here trying to give you reasons to be, optimistic.
No, they need a mobile quarterback, especially with the line they have. You got to have a mobile quarterback in this day and age. You can't have a standstill guy.
I mean, really, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying there too, Shades. I feel what you say. I feel what you say. I feel what you're saying there, Shades. But at the same time, you also could just go strip your offensive line too. You know, like
right now.
That's also an option.
I feel you, bro. But we said the same thing.
30.
We said the same thing with Stafford. All you got to do is this, and this, and every year it's like.
But how hard? But how hard is it to have okay, not how hard is it, because obviously it's a difficult task. But at the same time, you can't just say, oh, okay, I don't care about how the quality of my offensive line, as long as I got a guy back there that can run around. No, like you should be going out there trying to protect this guy so he don't have to run around as much, so he can make clearer decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
like
do that in free agency in the draft, because if they
I got y'all.
it's going to be the same thing they was doing with Stafford. The same thing we said
this
when they
was
was
the question then. So
they
statistically, I'm willing to bet statistically. I'll take that back. Never mind.
No,
yeah, keep going.
No, talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Hey, go ahead. Finish
we listening.
I'll have a better season. Go ahead.
We listening. Go ahead.
It's not. I wanted to say something, but it's just like the supporting cast is not fair.
Go ahead and say the shit. Say it. Put it on wax, brother. You done teased it.
150 receptions.
you done teased the homies worldwide listening. And now you ain't finna deliver? No, deliver your statement, fam. Don't give me that stank. I ain't finna say it. Look.
I
Talk
ain't
your
even
shit.
Give y'all this worldwide bullshit that I was about to spew on the pod. Right? I'm keep that shit to myself.
Shades, what
you ain't about to have me as the viral idiot. You feel me?
Nah,
bro. We need to hear that, but that's all right.
Goff was gonna have a better statistical season than Stafford did. That's what it was.
But then when it is what I was gonna say, but the supporting cast, I might could bet on that after the draft. You feel me? Like we'll revisit this after the draft. When I know who Goff throwing to a little bit, then I got you.
Okay.
You gonna die on that hill by yourself, son?
I ain't going there with you, bro. They Lions in the dump for another 10 years, probably. Unless another Trevor Lawrence come.
Yo, changes like that be making a bigger difference than you think. Stafford been there for a minute. It's a big change of culture getting a dude like Goff.
We'll see, bro.
We gonna see, man. We gonna see.
So some of them boys don't like the ball with them old school dudes. Is Stafford not old school quarterback?
We gonna see what's gonna happen once. Who's gonna come?
No.
Yes.
First air raid quarterback.
He's old school quarterback to me.
He's one of the. He's like Aaron Rodgers. He's like a Patrick Mahomes. He has arm talent. He can change arm angles. He can
change arm angles. I'm gonna give you that.
I ain't gonna say he like no Patty.
That's what I'm saying. You going a little too far right now, bro.
Passer, but we seen old school quarterbacks used to throw the sidearm too.
No, yeah, but I'm saying it's not just the sidearm.
Those comparisons were lame.
Hold up, Beef. Let that man get his point across. Now, Chase, get your shit off, Doc.
No, what I'm saying is it's not just the sidearm throws. It's being able to adjust your arm angle to fit the pass that needs to be done. He can change he's throwing balls like completely underneath. He's done no look passes. He's had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. You know what I'm saying? Stafford does that. That's what Aaron Rodgers does. If you give Stafford the ball last, more times than not, he's about to score. So that's what I'm saying. You don't want to give Patrick Mahomes to have the balls last. You don't want Aaron Rodgers to have the ball last. You don't want Matthew Stafford to have the ball last. Matthew Stafford will more than likely score if you give him the ball last. That's what I'm talking about. A quarterback that you can depend on to bring. If you give him the ball, if we have the ball last, I'm not 100% confident, but I'm pretty confident giving the ball to my quarterback and letting us score and letting him get us a win. That's what I'm saying.
But
You know
so
what
I will
made
say
people
this.
look at Matthew Stafford like that?
I'll say this real quick. What we can't not take into account is that change of scenery helps people sometimes. Now, hopefully, in the Lions case, that change of scenery for Jared Goff will help him. If they can somehow maintain a Kenny Galladay, that's the best receiver he's had his whole career. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but not by that much.
Is it the best receiver he's had his whole career? That's all. Is like we can talk degrees of how much or how little or how much all we want. If that's the best receiver he's ever had in his whole career, that's an upgrade, no matter what we say.
But I mean, he's had Sammy, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, like,
and that would still be his best receiver. And we can't pretend like Jared Goff has been trash his whole career because he has been. Jared Goff put up some stats. This past season wasn't great for him.
That's what I was thinking about it too. I just don't know who's gonna be out there with Galladay. That's my thing. That's the only reason I ain't say it. But I do think that Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter comeback kid, Matthew Stafford, that name, that look, vision on him, he got that with Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate. Since them being gone, he's not that same Matthew Stafford.
I disagrue with you on that. It's the coaching. It's Jim
and then
Caldwell.
that adjusting pass when you was talking about that adjustment on the pass, and you sound like you was describing Jay Cutler with Brandon Marshall for a little bit over there.
Jay Cutler had that ability.
So I was like,
Jay Cutler.
That's what I'm saying. So you cannot tell me that is what puts you with Aaron Rodgers in it.
Yeah, but you also, that doesn't automatically put you with Aaron Rodgers and all of them. Yes, but Jay Cutler and Matt Stafford are still on different levels. They're still on playing fields. It's still on different playing fields. Yes, they have that same arm talent ability, but Stafford, you can definitely say that Stafford is a step above Jay Cutler. Why is he a step above Jay Cutler?
But because he's not on the same playing field as the ones you named.
Because they are the top elite. I'm just saying, okay, if to make my words a little bit better, he is Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers-esque. Is that a little bit better? He's esque. He's not them. He's not there, but he's esque, which is why they paid. Which is why the Rams paid what they paid to get him. Which is why the Rams paid what they paid to get him.
ESQUE.
And to give you my opinion on what you're saying about him not being that comeback kid, he was that comeback kid when he had that coaching behind him. When he had Jim Caldwell and they were 9-7 and went to the playoffs and stuff, that's when you saw it more because he had a more complete team around him and they had a better system in place to put him in those situations where he could be. When Jim Caldwell left, they put everything on Matt Stafford's shoulders and said
they gave him pencil behind the ear. What was
his Matt Patricia? And then you saw what Darius Slay said about Matt Patricia. Like,
look, man, we're gonna see how that trade eventually turns out, man. But let's move along because it's Super Bowl week, man, and we got a little news coming out of Danny Amendola. Said that the Patriots way was Tom Brady and not the coaches. So really, it was Tom Brady that had all the say so in regards to the Patriot way, and not Belichick. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that.
No, I mean more. What he was saying was,
got this.
What he was saying was it wasn't the coaches that was going out there and performing the plays and showing the players what actually the Patriot way was. He was saying the coaches were in the office discussing what the Patriot way was, but when it actually came for players, when they came into town, especially if you were a new free agent, they followed Tom Brady as the example. So they were saying Tom Brady is the full embodiment of the Patriot way. That's what he was saying.
So then, okay. So then you said, then I guess like the question that you presented was like, well, do you think the Super Bowl runs that the Patriots made was more Belichick or Brady at this point?
Yeah, how y'all feel about that?
First, I
Go ahead,
think
Peach.
I think that it's the Patriot Way is all Belichick. But when you're a great coach like Belichick, you get the person on your team that is your Tom Brady to bleed that shit and spread it. Because you can't spread it to the players on a player-to-player connection level. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference when a coach really has his team or not, is because some of these coaches don't even got their quarterback. In a league where your quarterback is your team and you don't got your quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can't even happen. But I think
Yeah.
the Super Bowls was I'm not taking credit away from Tom Brady and his efforts and contributions to the Patriot Way, because he is the example of the Patriot Way. Him and Belichick established it together and made that vision come true. But I think that is a lot Belichick's brain, because that's the way a coach wants every player to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even using some shades from this year's topics, like Tom Brady had some unpatriot way showings this season. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he was more built into that system, with Belichick. You know, because some of the stuff that he did do, he might not have did under Belichick watch. You know.
Okay. So this is how. Okay, so were the Super Bowl runs more Belichick or Brady? I'm still going to put it on Belichick for now, right? What you can say is that Tom Brady also was a part of the reasonings for the Super Bowl runs. But when Tom Brady went down week 1 in whatever year that was, with the Achilles, or was it Achilles or knee, whatever injury it was, and then the Patriots proceeded to go what 11-5 that season with Matt Castle.
Yeah.
That told me everything I needed to know, because then that got Matt Castle paid, and Matt Castle proved to be trash. And to me, that told me everything I needed to know about Belichick, because I can still coach regardless. Now, you look at this season, and when it's kind of the Patriots this year look like, I hate always going to this, man, but it looks like the teams after LeBron leaves them. Because you go all in on making these championship runs. You got to go all in on these. But then when the King leave, and also on top of that, you had the majority of your key defensive players sitting out this year because of the COVID. You're gonna look a lot worse this year than you would have if it was just a standard regular season. When you got Patrick Chung not playing this season, when you got Hightower not playing this season, when you got a lot of key contributors, especially on that defensive side of the ball for you, that was not there this year. I think you got to take that into consideration, at least for a Belichick side this year. But Brady has showed you, regardless of if it's Belichick or if it's Arians, I'm taking my team to the fucking Super Bowl. It don't matter the scenario. But I kind of want to just give Belichick a little bit of leeway here.
I love what both of y'all are saying right now. Ryan, you want to go? You want me to get this, bro?
I mean, definitely, I kind of feel like, I agree to the fact that, the Patriot Way is definitely Belichick. Basically, piggybacking off of ST, Matt Castle getting paid is just proof of that. He had Matt Castle looking like a straight up baller, and that's all it took for him to look like a baller for 1 year under a Belichick system. And they was like, all right, he the next best thing. Let's go ahead and pay him. You know what I'm saying? They looked at Belichick and assumed that automatically, since he took Tom Brady, a 5th round pick, that he had like a quarterback factory over there that he could just churn them out. You know what I'm saying? So I think that alone says that like these owners were willing to bank and open their checkbooks based off of how players looked in Belichick's system. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Tom Brady happens to be the exception who is just great no matter what system that he plays in. But as you can see with Matt Castle, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? You put him outside of that system and he's not going to perform the same way. So I definitely feel like, you know, it's definitely Bill Belichick. And being a Jets fan, I mean, you know. I mean, it didn't matter. Before Tom Brady, I mean, shit, it's pretty much been that way since he's been over there. So, I mean,
ever since he didn't stay on our team.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
we could have had Belichick.
We know firsthand, like, it's
definitely... You know what's one funny thing about it?
What was that?
You were saying something about Castle leaving, Belichick getting Castle paid. We can make a whole pod about people Belichick got paid, coaches and players. Oh my gosh! Yo,
bro, so
Belichick
many
people paid. That was trash. Not only got paid, that ended up being trash.
So this how you know it's real. Josh McDaniels got paid to go be a coach. Was trash as a coach, went back to Belichick, and now niggas want to hire him again. How is it still a thing?
Yo, then he got a job last year and they said, yeah, I'm gonna accept it. Nah, I changed my mind. And they still want him.
The only person who adds more value to you as a coach by just being on their staff is Saban. Because if you play with Saban, that should cancel out anything you did before. Or you have violations, but you play with Saban. He's clean. He'll never do it again. Like, Kiffin's like, I know no matter what I do, if I bounce back with Saban, I'm good. Like,
Kiffin said, hold up.
But yo, I kind of I agree with everything that everybody was saying. But I think now, like in the beginning part of the Belichick Brady era, I think it was more like it's like 70-80% Belichick. You know, of course, you got to have a quarterback, kind of like Russ was in the beginning. Got to have a quarterback that can get it done. You know, Brady excelled because he didn't really make mistakes at an early age, and then he built upon that. Later on, it's kind of like he developed into this LeBron type person, like what you're saying, ST. I think that was a perfect analogy where it's more of the Cavaliers, because it is kind of like the Cavaliers because they lost their Kyrie, you know, they lost like a whole bunch of people, you know, as well as that person. But I guess an analogy that I want to use is it's kind of like, and I'm not saying Belichick is, but it's kind of like Belichick is God and he created the Bible, which is the Patriots way. And Tom Brady is Jesus, and he's the person that embodies what that is. So when you take and what is he to the Boston people? So not only did you take away your good quarterback, but you took away their savior out of that. So it's a double. They're going through not only not having the players, but a chemistry thing as well, because you don't have that player there to demonstrate what your Patriot way is. So I think this year is showing more. It's looking more like it's Brady, you know, but I think in the end, I'm gonna put it 50-50. Like at the end, I'm gonna put it 50-50. It's not one or the other. It's both. It was a perfect marriage to me at the end.
I got this.
Go ahead, SC. I got something after you.
I got this. If we want to know who's in control of the title of this being in control of the Patriots way, it's gotta be Belichick. Why? Because this nigga Gronk didn't want to go playing the Patriots way, but he would go back to Tampa to go play with Brady. The Patriots way never fit Gronk's lifestyle, right? Never fit his lifestyle.
Party.
They let Gronk get away with some things, but they never fit his lifestyle because that Patriots way was too uptight. So he retired and then got signed by WWE and became their little 24/7 champion. And the second that Tom Brady was like, "Oh, I'm going to Tampa," that nigga was like, "Oh, I'm coming up out of retirement and I'm going to Tampa, man." Y'all know what the vibes is. It ain't never had nothing to do with Brady. Had everything to do with playing with Belichick and playing in under that stiff ass role they wanted me to play in. Nah, I think that has more to do with it than anything else in regards to if I wanted to.
That.
I know it ain't only that, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I like if I had to go put my finger on or point my finger to something, that would be it.
Honestly, I think I seen at the time that Gronk had said if Tom had asked him to come back to the Patriots, he would have came. Because they also, a big thing for Gronk was the weed law. They like Gronk used CBD oil and shit for like healing and recovery and shit. And he was like, you know, if they at first when they was like, you know, saying the NFLPA was gonna bring that up, he was like, I'll see if they do that. What's up? Because that helps me. But on a side note, kind of to what on what Shades was saying back a little second ago, I was looking at it like this: like how much of I'm the coach, right? If I teach you my way, right, and you embody that, how much of that is still me though? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, at the end of the day, as fans, we see what the players are. You know what I'm saying? But how many of those games was won with the game plan that Tom Brady did not make up? Yes, he executed. You know what I'm saying? But them X's and O's and the how do we stop this person on the other side of the ball? Like they were shutting down monsters and teams that was unstoppable, and he was taking away. Belichick been taking away people's number one weapon for so long that people came in the game prepared for that. Like you had to. Like, all right, we got Mike Evans, but not him. And it didn't matter what his team was. It didn't matter what his team was around it. You know what I'm saying? Like he could take that away. Like, oh, you coming in with Kelsey? All right, Kelsey gone. Like, y'all gotta beat us another way. Like those things are so Belichick that those were so important to a lot of those games, you know? But I look at it like this. Phil Jackson is that to Jordan, you know? But how many times do that come in the conversation? How much of those X's and O's was Phil? You know what I'm saying? Phil was making them plays for Jordan to look like that. He was getting them open all day. You know what I'm saying? But we don't be like, oh, you know, them rings is all Phil. We be like, who got rings like Jordan? Like, you better be Bill Russell. You want to come to this table and talk. Like...
This motherfucker Bill Russell said, "No, I'm 2 tables away because I got twice as many rings." Was good.
You feel me?
Bill Russell hit the table so hard.
Was that a chandelier? Was that a chandelier that just fell? Was that a chandelier that just fell? No, that was just me sitting my rings down.
Nah, you know how all them dudes with hella rings, they come and pose they one hand. Bill Russell come and clap. Click, 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 but his hands don't touch.
Everyone sound like tambourines when he clap.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And see, I've been like my brain, like I'm trying to figure something out because I kind of feel like when you
see that face,
when you made your point, I kind of feel like you kind of made make my point as well with what I'm saying, with what Amendola said. Because like Stafford said, the only place that you're not going to send me to is the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the Patriots way that got all those free agents and all those people like James Harrison and all those people to come was to not only pay for Bill Belichick, but you know that under Belichick you got these rules or whatever, but it was to play with Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady will show you the way to maneuver around that and still be able to be yourself within the Patriots way, which means championships, but you still be able to do your thing within this field. He made it cool. He made it, you know, Tom Brady. So that's what I think Amendola is saying. The players, as far as the players following, you know, the coaches can only tell you to go do X, Y, and Z. But when you actually see somebody that's hearing what they're saying, and I know how I'm receiving this information, but you're receiving it and paying at this level. Like, how do you do that?
So to me, what it sounds like what you're saying is they wanted to go play with Tom Brady. So As long as like, because at the end of the day, they
I'm
feel
saying
like
both. I'm saying both. You want to be coached by Belichick, but you also want to play with Tom Brady.
right.
With
But
I think
wait, hold on, because I feel like how you positioned it then is based off of what I was saying. The Patriots way is still the Patriots way today, like right now, even though Tom Brady isn't there.
but it's not the same.
But it is the same. The rules are still the same. Everything is still the same.
The environment, bro, is not the same. That's
No,
what NFL is saying.
It's the environment isn't not that it's not the same. The environment is just that Tom Brady isn't on your team anymore.
That's big. That's big. Just like the Cavaliers not having LeBron there, the atmosphere is different. Yeah. Like if you take Tom Brady off the Buccaneers right now, the atmosphere is different.
Here's the reason why I still feel like the Patriots way belongs to Belichick. Now, yes, the benefit to Brady being on the Patriots was that Belichick had a person on his team that also was an attraction. But the Patriots way is still the Patriots way today. Tom Brady was just the draw. That's all that was. Tom Brady was the draw for the team.
I think the wins was the draw. I think people, free agents coming in, didn't know what to expect from either of those guys, honestly. I think they didn't learn that till they really arrived at that facility and started practicing and stuff, going to the meetings. I think they had all kind of stuff going on in their mind about what it would be like, but I don't think none of them really knew what to expect until they got there. But I think the wins was the attraction.
No, that's what James Harrison said.
Yeah, and the wins come from Tom Brady. at this point, especially now, because whoever the hell they had behind him post Garoppolo,
they couldn't draft nobody. He'll get mad.
I guess I'm too much a Jets fan, and the Patriots watch them too much to see that. Like I'm agreeing to it. What as he said, the Patriots way is still the Patriots way right now, but it's just like any other system. My system does better when I have better fits to it in there. I don't think they have fits for it. You know what I'm saying? But I think like Cam is like Gronk. He's not a Patriot way kind of guy, but forcing somebody into that, I think it limits them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where that team is at right now. When they get some people that fit that mold, the Tom Brady was the perfect quarterback for him to mold into that, you know? He needs those kind of players.
Yeah. But man, I look at it this way, man.
No, that's just where we disagree, though. I think it's 50-50.
That's fair.
And I think I agree. So it's difficult because I agree with what you're saying. The Patriots way is the Patriots way because of Belichick. But to me, it's not the same as when Tom Brady was there, which is what made up really, which is a part of the DNA of the Patriots way. Like, why would Ocho Cinco want to go to the Patriots? Why would all these other receivers? Why I don't think they would have went there if Tom Brady was there.
No, they just got to get another quarterback. They just got to get another quarterback.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Really,
once they get somebody, people still want to go.
Because it was still the Patriots way when they had Drew Bledsoe. They just so happened to get lucky.
But they weren't winning. Well,
I mean, where did Brady first step in the playoffs? Like, see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You feel me? Like,
it was the Patriots way at that time. That was the beginning.
Hey, this how you know right now.
What? Patriots way, exactly.
And it's the Patriots way.
It was the beginning of the Patriots way, brother.
Okay.
Nah, man. But yo, let's move over to the NBA real quick, man. Because according to Bleacher Report, we got a top 5 power rankings, guys. We're gonna start from 5, go down to 1. Starting at number 5, we got the Brooklyn Nets. Number 4, we got the Lakers. Number 3, the Clippers. 2, Utah Jazz, and number 1, the Philadelphia 76ers. How y'all feeling about this top 5 at this point of the season?
I'm glad you added that last part.
Anybody want to go? Y'all want me to go? What's good?
Go ahead, Shades. How you feeling? How you feeling about this?
We gonna respect.
Respect what? What you gonna respect?
I was gonna say we gonna respect at this point in the season that top 5. But for me to
that's
say
what they're
in my
talking about.
faith that I feel like going into the postseason that could be anywhere how the top 5 is shaped up, I feel like no.
But that's what you do a current power rankings for, is the current top 5
Right now.
So let's not get hung up on the fact that it's not. They ain't talking about in the season. Let's talk about right now.
I feel like I don't feel like it's power rankings though. I feel like it's because when I look at teams, right? You don't look at a team, can they beat them one night? You look at a team like, can they beat them in a 7-game series? You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, that 1-game thing, even 2 games in the season for like opposite conference or whatever, like that don't be mattering to me as much.
No, but
I know that's what it takes.
What's important is if you have a team that is consistently beating other teams that you will put on the same level as the other team that they beat before, that's a good team. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a team like the 76ers right now that is consistently beating quality teams, then you have to create some type of power rankings because you want to know, has this team been a top team for the entire year? And then also that helps that MVP player too. That top team might have an MVP player, and then you highlight this player has been playing, he's been averaging 40 points and he's been playing like this against this person, this person, this person. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I think the power rankings are important. So you can track people. Did they come from the bottom and then they get to the top, or were they consistently at the top the whole year?
But the way you're saying it will mean that it's manipulated then, because then it's based off schedule. Because I might not have the opportunity to see the quality teams you have when you see them.
But you can only base things off of what the games they've played so far. So we have to base it off of what we've seen so far. You can then factor in who they've played, whatever the case may be. I've seen the 76ers beat the Lakers already this season. That's a head-to-head against one of your top 5 teams. I have no problem with the 76ers at this current point in the season being number 1, because you have to factor in who they played, their schedule, and then compare it to everybody else that's in this top 5. And I'm sorry, Brooklyn Nets, when you got a, but I'm sorry, but Brooklyn Nets, when you got a loss against the Cavs on your record right now, that
and
says something.
And the Wizards.
Those ain't the L's.
But for both of those examples, right? But for both of those examples, would you take the Cavs beating the Nets in a 7-game series?
No, you would not. But at the same time, did they lose to the Cavs? Yes. So you have to take that into consideration too, because that's
part of the NBA though. NBA is not like the NFL or like some of these other leagues where you can't lose. You can lose.
Impeach. And that's why we're not doing an end of the year review right now. We're doing a current NBA power ranking. Currently, right now.
That's important though.
I'm just saying. So what's the importance of, I'm not understanding what's the importance of it based on that then.
What's the importance of what?
Because it tells you stuff about the team. Like the Nets, like you just said, in a 7-game series, you know they're not going to lose to that. But guess what? They lost to another team that's worse than the Cavaliers. They lost to the Wizards. And they allowed the Wizards to score 145 points. Their defense is a problem. So that's why they're 5. If they had better defense, they might be number 1. That's why power rankings are important, because they tell you things. Why are the Lakers number 4 and not number 2? Why is the Jazz number 2 right now?
This is why I don't like that.
Why it's an important conversation. Why are the Jazz number 2 right now? I would thought it would be the Nuggets or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are the Nuggets not balling like they was balling before? That's why it sparks the conversation, because they're not in the current power rankings based on their record.
And the current play, or however the situation may be, because it's not about just about wins or losses. It's about how you win and how you lose some of these.
How did you lose? Because the Nets keep losing the same way, bro. They're allowing people to score an average of over 120 points a game, bro. You can't win no championship like that. That's why they're number 5, and they still number 5. That's the crazy part. They still
because offensively, they close to one.
You're like number one.
If they ain't one, they two.
But can they beat the 76ers though? That's the thing. Like, is it going to be the 76ers versus the Nets in the Eastern Conference? Because the crazy thing, if it is the 76ers versus the Nets in the Eastern Conference, we can clearly see like, yo, they were in the power rankings since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So you won't be so shocked about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, I'm surprised the Clippers is above the Lakers though.
You know why I don't be liking the power rankings? Because when you look back at the power rankings and come playoff time, the people who was on the top of the list the most end up being teams like the Bucks, the Raptors, those kind of teams that end up not being the teams you end up watching play for the championship.
But you know who was at the top of the list last year?
Especially
the Lakers, and they was at the top of the list the whole year.
Well,
so some teams,
especially when it's like,
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, because then you can also see when these teams are going to be taking these falls. When they start falling the fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
But what about when my team's not at full health when we played this quality team? That don't matter.
Then later on in the season, your team will then be elevated in the power rankings. What are you talking about, Peach? Why you acting like power rankings is a new concept, my G? This has been standard.
I'm saying that's not what gets you elevated in the power rankings. What's good in the power rankings is winning streaks and stuff like that. That's what keeps you atop and gets you to jump people. It doesn't matter who you beat. Winning streaks are more important in power rankings. It's the hot teams.
It does matter who you beat, but it also matters your win streaks too.
That's what I'm saying. So if we got the same, if you're on a 6-game win streak and I'm on a 6-game win streak, right? And then I beat the best team or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what puts me above you. Like, we won't.
Why wouldn't it put you above me? Why wouldn't it? It's supposed to. They're the best team in the league right now. Every year is different. So if a team, I'm going to have to give more weight if they are 50-5 versus a team that you beat that's 21-22. Like, I'm going to have to give them more weight because they pretty much play the same teams as the other team.
I didn't get that to you right. So if we both got 6-game wins, right? And then my 7th game, I win. You win 2. I was number 1, right? But I played whoever the hell, and you played the best team. That's not going to get you just to jump me.
Right, but I guarantee probably both of us is in the power rankings. That's all that really matters because that means that we're on a playoff trajectory. That's all that means. It just shows you who's on a playoff trajectory. That doesn't mean that you're going to win a championship because as long as you get in,
power rankings go all the way down.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm saying the power rankings go all the way down. But I'm saying it shows you who's on a playoff trajectory. You know what I'm saying? You need to see who's heading for the playoffs because if you don't have the records right and you don't, like, depending on who you win or who you win and who you lose against, if you got to take the top 8 teams. So if you on the lower half of the power rankings,
you know why I disagree with that? Because if I'm currently not in the play, like say we're a little farther into the season where there's more games, right? And I'm currently not in the playoff hunt, right? Like say I'm 15 games out of the playoff race, right?
Right.
I can make into the top power rankings by winning 10 games straight and still not being in the playoff hunt. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then great. Then you're just a hot team right now.
That's what
it's about, and that's what I'm saying. It's a hot team right now, not a playoff projection, none of that.
Right, but what's wrong with it? But what's wrong with that, Peach?
Yeah, you're going to elevate, but you're still not going to be better. You're not going to have a higher power ranking than a team that has better record than you. You're just going to move up in the slot because you won more games. It's mathematics.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I go on a 10-game win streak, I could be in the top power rankings, even though I'm not. I don't have as many wins as these teams.
Okay, Peach. But But what's wrong with having the power rankings? Like, because I feel like
what's wrong with it. I said it's just about the hot team right now.
Yeah, and that's what we talking about. We talking about the hottest teams in the league right now. We talking about the 5 hottest teams, with the Nets being 5 because offensively them boys is some beasts. But I mean,
what's wrong with it is the name, because it ain't rankings of power. It's rankings of.
Yes, it is, man. Stop tripping on the damn name terminology and shit.
Dang, my boy get into every syllable.
Yo,
Let's go over the hotness rankings.
Yo,
this man said, yo, okay, let's retitle this. The current
NBA
NBA
rankings.
The current NBA hot rankings. All right. We have the current NBA hot rankings from the Bleacher Report.
De La Fuego.
I like De La Fuego.
There we go. We'll change it up, SC. Rankings de la Fuego.
Rankings de la Fuegs.
Rankings of the Fueg. All right, bet. So
Look, he'll take that.
that sounds better. Okay, bet. So where did Jazz come from?
Jazz hot.
Hooping.
Oh yeah, Conley. Because I was saying, I was like, yo, Donovan Mitchell and Gobert. Conley though.
It's been Gobert and Conley been cooking like he was back in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was injured last year.
He was. I think last year trying to figure out how he fit.
Yeah, I think he was a little injured last year though. But
yeah, I mean, no, Conley did have some injury. Was out several games last year. Strictly because I love playing Conley in DraftKings, and there was way too many times where he was out.
Yo, what's gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen in the playoffs though? Like against the Clippers and the Lakers, you taking the Jazz over the Clippers or the Lakers?
No,
because Clippers with Ty Lue is something fierce. Ty Lue got them boys laser eyed, like them boys balling.
No, I mean, also
they played Brooklyn tonight.
And also, you got to think about it this way though. This is how I look at it. You're getting really good play out of Paul George right now.
Ryan got me dying, bro.
I mean,
Ron be having Jets face conversations with me sometimes, and that should be so funny. Like,
but listen. Shit, I was just saying something and I lost it because Peach jumped in. What the fuck I was saying? I don't remember.
We're talking about Ty Lue. How got Ty?
Yeah, Paul George. Paul George is what I was talking about. You getting good quality play, current play from Paul George. They do this. Paul George does this every regular season. But y'all know what's going to happen in the playoffs. Everybody and their mama know what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Pandemic P.
It's gonna show his ugly. It's gonna show his ugly ass face.
No.
And then boom, there you go. Clippers is gonna fall somehow because you can't just put everything on Kawhi's back in the West. Ain't gonna work like that.
Is that a mental thing for Pete?
No, he's just Mo Williams. He's Mo Williams from the Cavs when the Cavs brought Mo Williams in to be the number 2 for LeBron.
He can't do him like that. Why can't be a Mo Williams?
Why can't he? What he done in the playoffs? You balled during the regular season, huh? What you did in the playoffs? Nothing.
Nah, he did some playoff work on the Pacers. He did some work in the playoffs on the Pacers. Him and Jermaine O'Neal had people a little scared.
Of course, but then he played in the East, and that was his fault.
Yeah, for Dan Granger and Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, trash can. Roy Hibbert.
Hibbert had a year or two out there. Why do centers go through that? Why do they have this like 2-year flash and then trash? Like 5.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna give you the equivalent to Hibbert. Hassan Whiteside.
But Whiteside's recent. But
I'm just saying, He's an equivalent to Hibbert though.
Oh,
he had a
I'm
year.
not gonna argue.
He had a year.
You even say,
Bynum,
can you even
I
say
can
Greg
give y'all
Olsen?
too. Don't act like only your team get him.
What'd you say, Shay?
Did you say Greg Olsen or not Greg Olsen? What was that dude's name? Played for Odin.
Odin. Greg Odin.
Greg
Oh
Olsen.
yeah.
Odin didn't even have a year. My man got hurt the second he stepped in. That man
Boogie
that
kind
man-
of that because he got injured.
Boogie been balling lately though.
Yo,
Boogie might come back.
Greg Oden came into the league looking like he was 76 years old in the face. Like I ain't know, I don't know how my man. They like, bro, they had
like one of them droopy dogs, the big old droopy dogs that was like had the droopy.
He the only senior citizen on the rookie card. Like his rookie card got a whole senior citizen discount that come with it for free. Like
come with free Velcro shoes, the strap.
Yeah. Yo, but we was talking about the Nets, man, and they went out here and lost to the Wizards. Like granted, the Wizards have a couple good players, but they shouldn't be out here beating the Nets. And
they said Russell Westbrook can't shoot. Made a 3.
Oh God, we safe to talk Russ on the pod now. Shout out to the homie Rod though.
Shout out to Rod, man.
But we safe to talk Westbrook on the pod now. So let's talk about this game.
It's funny because you said Russ and ST looked around.
Like, yo, you good? Like Rob,
good over there.
Don't nigga there.
Y'all good over there? You good down there? Y'all good? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I know it's gonna take the Nets sometimes to get this shit under control and get the chemistry popping how they really need it to be. I ain't finna sit here in front like they can't lose some of these games, but some of these games it's just it'd be the way you lose the game. And this was one of the ways you lose the game. And
bro, I think the Wizards should try to trade for like Michael Porter Jr. or they need like a big man.
So what's the question?
They got like a Brandon Ingram or something like that. Like,
so the question is this: will the Nets defense cost them a championship or even a playoff run? I highly doubt the playoff.
Yeah,
run. They're gonna make it.
I would like to say that it's too early to tell. One, my reasoning here for their in their defense. Kyrie Irving knows what kind of defense it takes to make it to the big game. Kevin Durant knows the kind of defense it takes to make to the big game. I feel like the James Harden that they're getting now was playing the best defense he ever played in his career. I feel like they're gonna have to obviously let him know that get on that level. I feel like DeAndre Jordan could help them with defense, and they just got together, so chemistry is huge on defense. So I feel like once they get each other's, chemistry down as the season goes along, their defense gonna get better. I don't know how elite it could get, but I know KD could play elite defense when ready. Kyrie could play elite defense when ready. Harden gonna have to prove that, but if he can play anything sustainable with them boys around him playing at the level that they're possible to play at, their defense could be straight.
I heard this from Kadrian Perkins. I'm kind of going to go with KP on this. Like they got rid of Jared Allen in the trade and stuff like that, and Jared Allen was a big part of their defense. So that's a big part of why I think they're struggling in the back end. They need to make some type of trade to help out DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, I think he can be a starter this year, but next year he needs to come off the bench. He's only playing 22 minutes or 20-something minutes anyway right now. So, and also Kyrie, in my opinion, when I've been watching the Nets play, Kyrie's been a liability on defense. Kyrie's been getting done this year. So I don't know what's been going on, in my opinion, with Kyrie's defense, but Kyrie need to step it up. James Harden has been the one that's even last year, James Harden had one. I think he had some most steals or second most steals or something like that last year. And he's brought that over to the Nets. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody needs to step it up, in my opinion, it's Kyrie. I think they do need to make some type of trade to get either another big man. It'll be great if they can get another big man and another wing defense, 3-and-D guy. Pause. If you can find a guy that can come shoot threes and play defense,
they trying to get Redick.
Nah, they don't need Redick. Nah, they don't. Redick is liability. They don't need another liability. They need a.
I'm just saying that's who they was inquiring about.
Mm-hmm.
They need like a Malcolm Brogdon or something like that. Brogdon is starting to show out. He's starting to become a superstar, but
he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. But they need I don't know.
Ain't he on the Pacers?
Yeah, he had 32 points yesterday.
Yeah, nah.
He ain't going nowhere.
That boy DraftKings price is going up. So I know he ain't leaving.
Oh, but I'm tripping though because Dinwiddie's going to be coming back later in the year. So
wait, didn't Dinwiddie hurt his Achilles?
Nah, knee.
Okay. I don't. Why I keep wanting to throw Achilles injuries on people? I keep wanting to throw. I'm sorry, athletes out there in these streets. I ain't trying to throw Achilles injuries on y'all like that. My bad.
Gosh, ST.
Damn.
Nah, but they said it's not as bad as they thought it was, and he could be back by playoffs or before playoffs. So maybe if they get Dinwiddie back, that will solve that issue. But they need a wing defender and they need another big man. If they do that, then I think they're good in there. But they can't do it what they currently got. Yes, they can. They could, but they just need some extra help.
I appreciate the fact that these teams still go out and try to get the Kyle Korvers and the JJ Redicks of the world, but they do know that there's younger 3-and-D guys out there that can come and help now, right? You know what else? I get it because you can get JJ Redick cheaper than even just some of the younger guys. But I'm not hating on JJ.
I think that's veteran presence.
Right. I get that part too. But you got your three top superstars are the veteran presence. You know what I'm saying? But
these teams we want the veterans on the bench.
Would you mind Alonzo Ball to run the second unit?
I don't think
you're wilding that they could get Alonzo on that team. You about to have 2 all-star teams.
Wait. You think they're gonna go grab yet another point?
No, let him run the second squad.
Turning them into the Knicks.
He ain't coming. I don't think. I don't think there's a chance.
Lonzo got it. The reason why I'm saying that is because Lonzo's 3-point shots got better, and he got good defense.
No, you're right. You're right, and the Pelicans want that.
Lonzo ain't trying to go.
There was a story out there about Lonzo Ball.
To nobody else to be in the back.
Hold on. What'd you say, Shades? I'm sorry, Peach. What'd you say, Shades?
There was a story out there about speculation, and it's out there that the Pelicans are interested in trading Lonzo Ball.
I still don't see that be the landing spot for him.
But I'm just saying, they need somebody right now that's a 3-and-D guy. Lonzo Ball is young.
And then also, what would you trade? What would you trade in order to get Lonzo Ball?
They just traded a lot to get James Harden.
They ain't got that much to trade. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, if you're gonna get Lonzo, that would have to be free agent.
They're gonna have to trade the name of their team.
We just Brooklyn now.
Call them Brooklyn.
And they picks until 2032.
Man, but yeah, they gotta do something, man, because they went out there, they showed that they still not playing the greatest of defense, and they went out there and took an L to the Wizards. But when we bring up the Wizards, you got to bring up Beal. And Beal saying he want to stay with the Wizards. My man also said he could get kind of frustrated because people keep nitpicking at his reasons for wanting to stay with the Wizards. And nigga, I don't know why you over here getting mad at us or frustrated with us talking about why you want to stay with the Wizards. Like it's like, bro, why are you sticking with the damn Wizards? Huh? What the Wizards did for you?
I would not have nothing to say if I didn't see footage and like they were showing footage of him on the court, like in the first half of that Nets game. Like, bro, Beal, like, bro, my homie for real, like just standing in the corner, bro, like this, like with his face like this, just looking at people, just like not moving, bro. Like 5 or 6 times, bro, not moving, setting screens, moving for the ball, nothing, just sitting there, just standing. And then like they show him going to the, I think it was before halftime, going to the sideline. Teammates trying to give him a handshake, and he's just walking by. You know what I'm saying? That's why people nitpicking. Like, bro, you my boy. Like, you a Gator. Like, you my boy. But like, come on. But you can't. He came back in the second half and he started balling and he hit that 3-point shot. And then that's when Joe Harris thought KD was going to stand right there and threw a bad ball. I forgot the guy who grabbed it, but he grabbed the ball, threw it to Russ shot the 3-point shot, and then they wound up winning the game. But but still at the same time, I can't really back him up with not understanding why people nitpicking them, bro.
It don't make no sense. It don't make much sense to me. Like, to me personally, outside of even those things that you mentioned, Shades, like, what has Washington? What has the Wizards done for you outside of gave you a team to play on? Like, bruh, like, yeah, money, yeah, but we get to that point. We get to these play when we talk about some of these great players. We start talking about, well, do you want to win anything? Because money is great, and if money is your main motivation, I ain't mad at that at all. Get your paper. But like, don't turn around and be like, why is people nitpicking? No, why they nitpicking.
I think he's sugarcoating it, bro. I think he wants out, but the team wants to keep him. He wants out for sure. There's no way that he wants to stay. I mean, he may want to stay.
The Washington Wizards, they gotta be the team that makes empty promises. Because how do they hold on to any of these players for as long as they do and do nothing for them?
He's been there 9 years.
John Wall was there too long.
Yeah,
bro, 9 years, bro. It's gonna be too late, bro. He's in his prime. He knows that, bro. I know he wants out. I know they're saying this and saying that, bro, but
he can't let the people of Washington know that he wants out.
Yeah, you can't say that because then it's gonna make things hellacious. So he's probably trying to do things real PC, real smooth, you know what I mean? But bro, you gotta get out.
Anti-James Harden route.
Yeah, he's trying to do it. He's trying to do it legit, But
you know what's funny about that though, and like, I'm not sitting here saying you should go the James Harden route.
It worked.
Never gonna say that. But James Harden happy as fuck right now. James Harden is happy as hell right now. And while Bradley Beal sitting around here still talking about like, oh no, I want to be a Wizard.
But did James Harden have a no trade clause? Like, he got to pick the teams they offered to him to go to?
That's a good question.
That matters. Because if Beal don't got that, you don't want to end up getting to the trash. Oh, you want to play? You ever play with LaMelo? You want to go to the Bobcats?
It might be, why you talking like that's not a lateral move. like that's as lateral as they get. My guy,
and Terry Rozier.
That's what I mean. That's why you can't be Harden like if you don't got that kind of clause,
But look,
because you can end up getting traded.
I would take my chances over in Charlotte. I would take my chances over in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball is young, but LaMelo Ball got all the promise in the world. What I got currently what I currently got as my teammate with the Wizards is I got Westbrook. That's dope. But Westbrook is also injury prone and older. Like, look, man, look, if that's where you're gonna send me, I might take my chances there. And I get to kick it with Jordan.
Yo,
What
ST though. But
Orlando?
if you, where would you want to go if you were Bradley Beal? Or what do you think the best destination for Bradley Beal is? 305?
Of course.
You
would
already,
say
I
that.
mean, why you ask me that question,
What
bro?
you-
You know
Don't
the
smile
vibes.
if you ain't telling me what
I
y'all
want his
giving up. What y'all
unbiased
giving up,
opinion.
though?
I thought I was going to get an unbiased
What y'all
opinion.
giving up?
Even if I wasn't a Heat fan, that's the best place for him to go.
Okay.
What you giving up, though? I want to hear what you
Why?
giving up because that will let me know how
Okay.
real you being. What you
Okay.
giving up?
I'm willing to give up Kendrick Nunn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to give up Duncan Robinson.
He's
Tyler
out for the rest
Hero.
of the season.
I'm not giving up Tyler Hero. You smoking dick. Y'all can have just about
I'm
everything.
saying you got to get real. I know
No,
you
we
ain't
don't.
serious now. I know
Bradley
you ain't
Beal
serious.
without
Hold on.
Tyler Hero.
Wait a minute. Why we don't have why we got to get real about who we want to give up in this trade? But when the Jets talk about they want to go pick up Deshaun Watson, y'all talking about, well, we don't want to give up the number 2. We don't want to give up the no. Fuck that. We keep
That
it
was
Tyler
before
Hero.
the Stafford pick.
But hold on though, bro.
I mean,
Like,
trade.
look,
I had hope.
I see it like this. If he gonna leave, like after this year, if he gonna leave anyway, you might as well get something for him. I think that
This is last year of his contract?
I believe he's going to free agency after this. Yeah.
Woo!
So
Oh, they better trade him.
that's what I'm saying.
They
You would much rather get something like a Kendrick Nunn and a piece like a Duncan Robinson. I'll give you a Kelly Olynyk and a first round pick. Like,
You is wow.
that's the best.
He's bugging. He's the scoring leader.
What did they give up? They gave up some. They gave up like picks for Hart and then some players.
Draining threes. Draining threes. Duncan Robinson.
No, it's a lot of
you
teams
know what I'm
that's
saying?
giving up. It's a lot of teams that's giving up way more than that for Beal. I'm gonna let you know right now. A lot of teams is giving up way more than that for Beal.
Taking in the actual rookie thing behind
They
John Morant.
ain't the scoring leader.
Bro, they're young pieces, of course. Nothing that they got.
Look what James Harden just got.
Bro, nothing that the actual Nets got.
That was the old scoring leader. You're talking about the scoring leader right now.
Bro,
But we talking about the scoring. You talking about James Harden, the scoring leader who won games. We talking about the scoring leader who can't
Beal
win
ain't
shit.
worth as much as
difference,
Harden.
brother. It's a difference, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Beal ain't worth as much as Harden, but he is worth more than you acting like right now. I ain't gonna co-sign that.
One first round draft pick and players.
Or you can just let him leave in the offseason and we'll sign him for nothing.
That's why he ain't going to the Heat. Because you ain't trying to give up nothing.
That's okay.
No, that's why we would trade. That's why we would trade him to somebody else who's actually gonna give us something for him.
We are giving you something for him. Kendrick Nunn was he was in the running for rookie of the year.
Harden, so I know we're not giving up Hero for Bill.
But Harden,
no,
that was actually they asked for that. And we said hell no.
Hell no.
We're not
You
giving.
ain't getting no fucking Tyler Hero. Are you kidding me?
I think he should go to the Bucks. With Giannis.
No.
And Drew.
No, he should not. How about that?
They should give up Chris Middleton. They should give up
If they can't keep Chris, if they can't keep Chris, they ain't gonna want him because they need the third piece. They got Drew. Like Chris is who they lean on.
They got Drew Holiday, bro.
Yeah, I don't think they've been getting enough what they thought out of him.
No, they love Drew Holiday.
No, they love Drew.
When he out there. When he out there.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, we'll see where he goes. Like, where do you think he should go, Peach?
Where I think he should go, like for him, beneficially, it would be like, 76ers, that kind of wins for him. But San Antonio is who would want him. They will make something happen to get him.
I'm gonna tell you who I think
can
has
see
the
him with
best,
Spurs.
the best package to put together for him. Probably be, and I hate to say it, because they my rival.
Warriors.
No, Boston.
Oh, Boston.
I would legit do a straight up trade Jaylen Brown.
They ain't trading Jay. They're not trading Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal?
There's not trading Jaylen Brown. I'm just letting you know. Danny Ainge pretty much said it. Like they.
Look, if we ain't trading, look, if we ain't trading
for Jaylen Brown, though, they were trying to get him to the Celtics.
If we ain't trading Tyler Hero, they ain't trading Jaylen Brown.
I mean, that's the
you
only.
You ain't touching Jaylen Brown or Tatum unless
not after they lost. Not after they lost Kyrie and Hayward. Jaylen Brown was solidified.
Jaylen Brown is balling right now.
He is, but I'm just saying, like that's the only thing I can think of that could be like a that you could do like straight up. Like you ain't gotta have no other little caveats in there, like young up and coming all-star scoring leader now.
You couldn't trade him for Clay straight up?
No.
Not right now.
Nah?
No, not after an ACL and an Achilles.
Maybe a healthy Clay.
I don't know. I think Clay value is still high. If they was to say Clay on the market right now while hurt, I think his value is still up there.
It is.
It definitely.
But it's not Bradley Beal, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a Gator fan, like, because my cousin was the starting point guard for Florida for a little bit, Kenny Boynton Jr. But I remember just watching like Gator basketball, and like I remember like the Gators could be losing, and they put in like Bradley. I didn't even know who this guy was. Like he wasn't starting. Like they just put him in, and Buddy dropped like a hot 20. I'm like, who is this guy? They just put him right back on the bench. I'm like, bro, like what? He needs to be in the game all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, handles,
bro.
We didn't have because the Gators used to just come dribble the ball down and pass. Like nobody used to like.
That boy used to get to the cup.
Yeah,
like
Bradley was that dude. He been that dude.
Crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, man. But let's go ahead and move over to. I mean, let's hit this one last little thing before we get into some real talk real quick. The homie, not the homie, because let me rephrase that. This clown 6ix9ine had his manager reach out to Benny the Butcher for a collab, and I just want to know what made this clown ass dude think that of all the people, you was gonna get Benny to hop on the track with you. Of all the people,
that's like asking, like, rest in peace, Nip. That's like asking Nip. The heck, what you think Nip gonna tell you, bro?
Bro, what you think Benny said the second he heard this bullshit?
I don't even think he responded.
I think he butchered the call.
True, man. I think that I found that
was
funny.
It that had to just be a publicity stunt, right? You know how Tekashi like to just get his name out there sometimes, right? Like that had to just be to get him talked about again, right? Because he couldn't have been serious.
There's no way he could be serious, but he's always looking for the clout. That's what he do. So, but
yeah, because realistically, like, who could he get a collab with right now?
Shit,
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, Nicki collabed with his stupid ass.
She just don't care. She about the bread.
Yeah, but so
actually, she's the same thing like him for the clout.
True. Benny said, no. Anybody who's somebody with a pair of eyes could have knew that little nigga was gonna rat. He's a rat. He don't deserve to be out. He don't deserve nothing. He's a rat. I was just talking about my niggas, the numbers that they got, and nobody told nothing. He's a effing rat. He's a disgrace.
Yeah. So about right, exactly what we thought he would say. Because you like, bro, he don't realize that his whole shit is tainted. Like to anybody that's a real, just a real human. Period.
Bro, I didn't even really mean to look into the story, but it had it had Tank Davis in it. I don't know if y'all saw that, but Tank Davis was in the club or whatever, and then it shows like Tank Davis kind of got into it with Tekashi or whatever, and it shows like Tekashi like walking around the stage, and he's like looking at Tank over there, and then like speaking or whatever. He's just like throwing money, bro, in the club, just like throwing money. I'm just like, bro, what is you really? You gonna talk smack to Tank Davis, bro?
Like, you gotta be he's a clown.
What you doing without your security officers, bro?
Yeah, he's smart because he knows Tank can't touch him.
Bro, that's something. But really, bro, like, come on, that's what this world has come to. But it is what it is, yo. Let's sneak in that ninja take about courtside Karen.
Oh, you mean when that woman on the sideline was like, you know what? You LeBron, I don't care what you want to say about this, you piece of I ain't got time for your ass no more.
You up.
I will you up. You understand me?
Yeah, that's what she told LeBron last night. Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah. She went in.
Yeah.
Like I saw some clips of her Instagram story, and like her story was so wobbly as shit, like as far as like having any legs to stand on. But like, man, even if you was out here saying, yo, fuck you, I'ma fuck you up. Well, I'm sorry. If you was out here saying then I would be mad too, bitch. What's wrong with you? Yo, what y'all thought about that stupid ass shit though?
Bro, I love the way LeBron handled it. Like when he was talking about it in the press conference when they was asking him about it and everything like that. He was like, and he went on Instagram saying that courtside Karen was mad. That was hilarious right there, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because she went on Instagram and went ham, you know. So she probably like Uncle Shay said, she probably boosted up her Instagram followers by a couple of thousand. You know what I'm saying? Just off that, you know what I'm saying? But who cares? It was just an altercation. I would just say she's probably lucky that LeBron's wife went there. Because I don't think you'd be talking like that if LeBron's wife was right there. That wouldn't have went down like that.
I wish she was, though. Savannah would have put the beats to this bitch. Yo. Savannah would have put the beats to her ass, man. Yo,
she would have grabbed her hair so quick.
Her Instagram story was so long, bro. It just like at the top, you know how it has like the little dashes, like you know it's going to the next shit, like a full-on perforated piece of paper, dog. Shit was crazy, dog. I'm like, yo, why is you going in so hard? Why?
Because it's LeBron.
Ah, man, clout chasing. People be out here clout chasing, man.
You already know what it is, man.
Yo, but man, I guess it's time, man. We got to jump into this real talk real quick because very serious story came out of Rochester. Rochester Police was caught on body camera pepper spraying a handcuffed 9-year-old girl. And I watched the video of it this morning. And then once I watched the video, I had to deep dive and figure out what was going on and all that stuff. because it makes zero sense that grown men who are responding to a family disturbance, that's why they're at the home, have to forcibly put their hands on this 9-year-old girl
In the cold
who
snow.
in the cold snow, who is traumatized by this whole scenario because she believed her mom stabbed the father, and she's 9 years old, and they're telling her, you need to calm down, blah blah blah. And then they grab this girl, they put her in handcuffs, and then they try to put her in the back seat of the cop car, and she's screaming, I just want to see my dad, who she
Yep.
believes has been stabbed. And after a while, oh, this part pissed me off the most. They said, stop it, you're acting like a child. And why does she have to be the one that in this group of adults to then pronounce herself as a child?
I am a child.
Was it her exact quote? So then you try to continue to force her into the back of this cop car when you're there. You're supposed to be de-escalating a situation. You bring the woman cop in, first of all, who should have been the only person touching this girl in this whole scenario. If you have the woman cop there and you got a little girl there, the woman cop handled the little girl. She kind of calmed her down for just a brief second, but then like the girl was still hysterical. They try to get her in the cop car again. They pepper spray this girl in the face. In the face. And then immediately put her in the back seat of the car where they pepper sprayed her and closed both doors, leaving her not only pepper sprayed in the face, but sitting in a car full of this spray. That's where the video cuts. I'm sick to my fucking stomach from seeing this shit. Not like what was y'all take when y'all saw this shit?
First of all, for me, it was why they was being so aggressive with a little girl. Grown ass men. How they expect the child to be when you removing her from her parents? She don't got none of her parents there. She's scared of shit. Don't know what's really going on. You know, and y'all, the problem with me was they had no patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you see, like, even after they already put her in the handcuffs, right? They had her in the car, and she was just screaming and didn't want them to close the door. Like, they could have tried to calm her down, like, however long it takes. She's a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, a traumatized child in this. He's like, just spray her. Da da da. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, none of them dudes would have ever treated their child like that.
Calm down, honey. Calm down. It's okay. Calm down.
Bro, I done seen people in a grocery store with their child doing more than she was doing in that cop car.
For real. Bro. Bro, I'm kind of at loss for words. My main thing that I took from it was just like, yo, we still gonna have to go. I mean, I knew we were still gonna have to go through this. You know what I mean? But like, it doesn't matter the presidency or whatever. This system is in place. You know what I'm saying? And the police, like in my opinion, they got too much power. You know, so in my opinion, not only should they be fired, but there should be a civil lawsuit against state, which I hope is about to come. But those police, that right there, you know, you didn't kill somebody. The fact that it was a child, like, you should be fired. Whether or not you should allow to be a police officer or not, in another county, I don't know. But in that county right there, you shouldn't be allowed to be a police officer there. You know. I think that aggression that was taken out on that child from the day, because it looked like it happened at nighttime. So you don't know how long that police officer has been on duty. So in order for a child to make you do something or something like, especially if you're a grown man, and just them putting in handcuffs, I kind of feel like, that's over, it's a child, you know what I'm saying? So I understand whatever, you got to put her in handcuffs and everything, but the pepper spraying, that's where you went over the line. And then you just leave her in there, you know what I'm saying? What if she goes blind? Like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You just left her in there stuffing. I've had pepper spray on my eyes, and I was a grown man. I had to go sit in the shower for like 30 minutes and and you just left her in the back of the car, handcuffed. She can't even wipe herself, just burning. That's torture. That's torture right there. Like, bro, y'all gotta go.
It's cruel and unusual.
If you want to know how I feel, okay, let us handcuff you, put you in a room, and just pepper spray you in your eyes, and then keep you in there for as long as she stayed in there.
Right.
That's torture.
The dude bragged about it. He was like, "I got her."
So
that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's a game to them, bro.
This is my thing, right? So let's break this down a little bit. So the cops get called because of a family disturbance. And now, if it's to the point that you feel like your mom stabbed your dad, you could assume that she probably has been living in a situation that has not been ideal for a child for a good chunk of time, right? Like that's so she's not growing up in the greatest of environments. The people that you are supposed to trust are these officers who are supposed to be protecting and serving the streets. Then proceed to in a time that is highly traumatic for you, make the situation worse. And how is this child, who is already growing up in a situation that may not be ideal, how is she supposed to then go on and have what is her perception of the police is going to be going from this point forward? It's going to be fuck them at all points. Because at my worst point at my life, not only did you not show any fucking compassion, you sat there and pepper sprayed me. No, this ain't taught in the fucking house, yo. These are fucking continued incidences in these fucking streets that we have to continue to have to that us as black people, we try to protect our children from. We try to protect them from from instances just fucking like this, and we have to continue to have to go and deal with the same shit constantly. And then for me to still see there are people on this earth that will then turn around and say, well, she should have just listened to what the officers were telling her, and nothing would have happened. Shut the fuck up.
She's 9. She's
a fucking child, yo. Go ahead, Peach. I'm sorry, dog.
And it go with what Shades was saying. A lot of it is abuse of power. And then another thing that it is, there's like, obviously it's not every cop that's a cop, you know what I mean? And sorry for the good ones that got to deal with what these ones is doing to put them out there. But what it is too is no fear. Like we thought the body cams would help and lower shit like this. These niggas know they got a body cam on while they're doing this, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's like no fear. Like, bro.
There were 9 officers at the scene too. 9. You mean to tell me there wasn't one fucking officer that couldn't have took the time away from everything else that was going on? Let the other 8 handle the scenario, whatever is going on between the mom and the dad, and have an officer sitting with her trying to calm this girl down and de-escalate her situation because she's at an all-time high of anxiety at this point. Like, there isn't one. Like, for the people that want to continue to sit here and say, like, I had to have an argument with somebody on Twitter earlier today about this, because he was, he was being ignorant, coming out of the mouth with well, she should have just listened to what they said. And I was like, so you don't grasp the concept of the fact that she's in a traumatic situation. These officers are trained to help de-escalate a situation, and they can't appear to de-escalate a situation with a 9-year-old child.
I mean, my actual response would have been kind of simple. I would have been like, do you remember being 9? No. Exactly. Because you were too young to even process shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I mean, this just goes on the line of what I already kind of felt. Like when they so-called protested the Capitol.
The insurrection.
Right. So basically that alone let me know, you know what I'm saying, that confirmed what I believed already, is that the police aren't here to govern Caucasians. They're not here. Like, you abolished slavery, but kind of gave it a different like lane almost. It's like to Peach's point, there's no fear. The fact they have on, like, we put stuff in place to make us feel safer, but it don't even matter, because it's just like, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna get put on paid leave until this shit blow over, and then I'll be right back out there doing my job.
Or in a different,
you know what I'm saying? So like, there's no consequence for anything that they do. So like, they can do this stuff and get away with it. So I mean, to me, it just feels like when they stormed the building, they had people taking pictures in the offices and chairs and stuff, and like, bro, really, bro? Like, your whole job is to make sure people don't get in here. Like, you failed miserably at that job. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Miserably. But you know what I'm saying? Had it been anybody like that just goes to show you, like, had it been our people or people of color, any person of color, it doesn't matter if they were Black, Hispanic, Asian, you know what I'm saying? It would have had a totally different outcome. And it just goes to show you, I mean, it's not surprising. You look at the prisons, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's mostly so-called minorities, people of color. Like, they're not, the only people that are in there that are Caucasian is when they like, pretty much, bro, you shot somebody, it was 5 people there that saw you. You confessed to it on the phone. They got a tape of you saying it. You really just can't get out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the Caucasians that are in jail. Stuff like that. We caught the dope in your hand. You sold it to the undercover officer. Like, it's not like, if there's any reasonable doubt, they get off. Any little bit of doubt. Like, oh, we don't have the time frames don't match up. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Not with Black people. It can be 95% don't match up. That 5%, oh nah, nigga, you did it. Like, and it's just sickening. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it's a child, like, that your brain can't process the fact that, like, bro, like, it's 9 of y'all out there. Y'all mean to tell me, none of y'all got a kid at home, and none of it didn't process in your head that, like, damn, this is like, what if this is my kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't go through nobody's head. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't got no kids, a niece, a nephew, you know what I'm saying? Anything.
That's what it was. Because when I was on Twitter, that was arguing with the guy, he was like, well, my kids wouldn't do anything like this. I'm like, well, thank God. I was like, good. I'm happy for you that your kids have never had to go through such a traumatic situation as thinking that you were stabbed by your wife. But you can't then compare the way your kids currently act to how this child is acting in this scenario, because different scenarios bring out different emotions, and like, it's sick shit like that. Like, you don't compare your child that probably was raised in a healthy household to this child who clearly is going through some traumatic shit. Come on, people. Come on, man. Like, it's man, I hate this shit. I hate shit like this because it makes zero sense, yo. It makes zero sense. It doesn't make any humanly common sense to put your hands on that 9-year-old child like that. It doesn't make any common sense. Damn, I can't speak because these motherfuckers got me flustered. But it don't make any damn sense that you can't find a way to get this child calmed down without putting her in the back seat of a cop car or spraying her with fucking pepper spray or
why,
what's that?
Because Peach is all of 5'9", 149 and a half. And I could have got that girl in the car without hurting her.
For real.
Right.
Facts. I'll be like, girl.
Like, look, man, it's sick. This world is sick, man. They got,
But nah, but here's my thing. Here's my thing about it though. Accountability. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like there is been a little bit more of a shift, you know, and when things happen, you know, we are holding people to a certain standard and we are holding people to be more accountable. I don't want to put too much on our plate or anything like that, but I don't know if there's anything that we can do to like stay up on research on certain topics and just seeing if things are getting followed through. You know what I'm saying? Especially like with civil lawsuits and just seeing if there's progress. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of feel like the Breonna Taylor case, that is some sort of progress, but $12 million doesn't bring back a life that was taken. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are going to do a raid and you're going to arrest everybody that's in there, you can wait till they come out of the apartment and then arrest them then, instead of busting in and shooting. And in this case, you can just put the girl in a cop car and you didn't have to pepper spray her. You could have put her in a cop car and closed the door. Why do you have to pepper spray her? That's torture right there. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that, you know,
what makes it hard to follow some of these is they push these shits so far out sometimes, Shades. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna hear about the results of something from this case next year.
Yeah.
The early stages. Like they go to trial. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of stuff that make it hard.
Right.
It'll be 4 more cases like this by the time this case actually gets around.
Right. Probably more nowadays, bro.
Yeah, especially now with COVID, like shit's even slower than before, man. And this fucking pisses me off. Like, God, this pisses me off, man.
But yeah, bro. It is what it is. You know, we got to keep fighting. We got to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? We got to hold people to accountability, especially if it happens something within our circle. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gotta. I think we need to definitely have a plan of action. You know what I'm saying? Definitely lawyer up. Make sure we have our lawyers and everything straight. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a learning situation. But yeah, man. That's really all we have for real talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Definitely wanna give any shout outs. Pete, you got any shout outs, bro? Anything you want to say, brother?
Shout out to the pod. Always to the pod.
Facts.
To the homies. Because the homies are the pod. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the fam. You know me every week. Shout out to the people. Family man, Pete, you feel me? Shout out. Shout out to us trying to change this shit because I'm tired of those real talk stories. Man, I'm tired of seeing videos like that. ST made me watch the video like a little bit before the pod too. I had read about it. Y'all know I'm a hell of an article reader. Don't see shit. Don't social media shit. Don't see shit. I don't never see the shit. Like I gotta be told you need to see this to go like look it up. I be reading about shit though. When I read about it and my fiance told me about it, I was like, damn, that's some fucked up shit. You know, my daughter's 10. You know what I'm saying? So that shit's like, yo. I'm telling you now, like y'all will see me. Y'all ever seen a law-abiding citizen?
Yes, sir.
Just know if anything ever like that happen, that's me. Like that's the level I'm going.
Yes, bro.
Like,
yes, bro. It is on and popping, bro. Peach comes out like Rambo. Coming out with shells around his side. You know, like,
can't
I feel you, bro.
But like, man, I just, I pray that we could get to a better time than this for sure.
That's facts. And I want to give a shout out to the people that text you late. And what I mean by that is couple of my homeboys who have made some money off of that GameStop shit. Fuck y'all. Yo, know what? Yo, fuck y'all. 'Cause y'all motherfuckers could have told me this shit a month ago, my nigga. Y'all knew the vibes. Y'all knew what the fuck was up. Don't text me once that bitch is already at 148 talking about, hey man, you might want to buy some of this. Huh? Why didn't you tell me when it was $4? Huh? But shout out to y'all regardless. Because I still got in there and got me a little something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my shout out.
Hey,
What you got, Raj?
Just same old. Shout out to the pod, the homies, all the homies around the world listening. Everybody fam, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to still being healthy, everybody being able to make it. Tupac, Mr. Curry, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just blessings and good wishes and will for everybody for the rest of the week.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to the pod. Shout outs to all the homies around the world, everybody listening, everybody tuning in, everybody vibing with us right now. You know, you're vibing with it. I just want to say that I appreciate everybody on this pod. I appreciate everybody that's listening. You know what I'm saying? There's like, especially with the last story they're saying, there's darkness around us. You know what I'm saying? And for us to be able to come together consistently, we can't take that jump for granted. So, shouts out to the pod. Shouts out to, you know, for those who don't believe in a higher power, I do. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out. This is my first time giving a shout out to God on the pod for blessing us and allowing us to be able to spend this time together.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, blessings to everybody in their family, especially with COVID. You know, let's not, you know, get complacent. You know, let's continue to doing what we're doing. Obviously, we're doing something right with, you know, with how we're maneuvering, how we're doing things. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay focused on what we got to do, and let's take it to the next level. So, you know, on to the next pod, God willing.
Mm-hmm. Def. Oh, one last shout out. Shout out to the homies that have already reached out about the merch. You know what I'm saying? You dig? Make sure you know, we're gonna find a way to get that link out to y'all soon. We're working on a couple things so we can get the link. But if you know, hit us up on, you know, this little social media tag sitting there, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go ahead and get involved and get yourself your hands on some of that, you know, that maybe one of the hoodies, or, you know, maybe you want to get your phone case, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to cover your face out in these COVID streets, and you want to put that Homie Studios mask on. Fuck it, mask on in this bitch, because it's still COVID in these streets. You know, whatever, you know, maybe you want to go get the joggers, or ladies, you want to go get the leggings. If you want to get something before we can get that link to you, holler at us. You can find me on Twitter at STTheGreat. You can find the homies at Homie Studios. If you want to go get something done in the Jacksonville area, prepared to your home, make sure y'all go out to Facebook.com/room renovators 123. You dig? I'm sorry, y'all. I had to do a whole bunch of plugging there real quick. You know
bro. Hey, do your thing, homie.
I did update the page. I updated the page, so I put some stuff on there for y'all to go look at for sure.
So definitely
does excellent work.
So like definitely go check out the homie. Go check out the homie at Facebook.com/room renovator 123. You dig? Man, well, appreciate y'all boys, man, and appreciate everybody that's, you know, continue to rock with us and listen in every 2 times a week. You know, we try to bring this thing to you 2 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So until next time, we'll catch y'all on Saturday. You dig? It's been your boys. Holla at your boys.